Hi Cancer, welcome to your August 2018 love reading. It's Rena here. So what I'm going to be doing is a spread with my Morgan Greer deck, and the position of the challenge, I'm going to use the Wild Unknown Tarot, and I've already had a reading where I've proven that, is it proven or proved? That you can pick only 7 cards, and you can, if you use another deck for that one position, you can get the same card twice. And this is something that I saw other readers doing, and I thought that would be kind of an interesting test. And I did get the death card twice for Virgo. So what are the odds? I don't know the formula for the statistics, but it's pretty good. It's pretty amazing odds, let's put it that way. So let's see what happens with you. Let's see what card comes up with that other deck. But then I'm also going to be picking an oracle card from the Energy Oracle deck at the end. Oh, I should probably look at the bottom of the deck because I've had to do readings over. See what I'm talking about? Well, we're going to pick that one, and then I'm going to look at the bottom of the deck. Yeah. So that's my rule. I don't know why I refuse to learn. Well, it's funny. Some of these cards are mixed up. So anyway, I'm just going to proceed and then redo it. As I've said to a couple of other signs, what I do is if I pick a reversed card first thing off the bat in the reading, I do look at the bottom of the different piles, and the first pile it was reversed, so I just picked up all the piles so that in case I picked up the deck upside down, which I think I did, it doesn't all come out reversed. But I will, I do believe in synchronicity, so try to have a little bit of both here. Oops. Now, because I got distracted, I didn't put that card in the challenge position. So we're going to have 2 cards for the challenge position. How do you like them apples? Okay. That's from the Wild Unknown deck. I am going to pick an additional card because the 4 of Cups is one of those cards that I don't end readings on. Okay. Neither is the 5 of Wands. There's certain cards that to me, don't lend themselves to resolution. So let's, I'm just going to shuffle this quickly. Okay, here we go. I don't know if you can see this. This is the King of Swords. I'm putting this on the side. All right, and I'll do the oracle later. Okay. So, for the heart of the matter, we have the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. So the 9 of Pentacles, I'm just going to put this in the upright position because it's easier to see. The 9 of Pentacles in reverse can indicate a gold digger type of a mentality. Not going to accuse you, Cancer. I'm not going to accuse you. I guess it could be the person you're with, but I want to say something about this. I don't think that all so-called gold diggers are the same. There are people who are excessively concerned about how much money their partner makes because of their own weirdness about money. And I could definitely completely see a Cancer person being like that, because sometimes Cancer people use money as a security blanket. where it makes them feel like they're all warm and fuzzy and safe. And it really, I mean, you could be logical about it and say, well, you know, that makes sense because we need money to live, and if you don't have enough money, you're going to be pretty full of anxiety. But there could be like a grain of truth in that, but then it's taken out to something that is way overblown. And because of that, that can lead to all kinds of problems, because you can marry the wrong person with that fear-based thinking, right? So that's what I'm going with. Now, this could be a situation where maybe you're with somebody who is like this. I'm going to say that perhaps it's a woman, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be the case 100% of the time, nor does it mean that with this person, perhaps, I'm trying to think of, like, would they be the one that is like maybe an ex of the person that you're with? Maybe you're with somebody who has a child with somebody, and she's trying to, you know, interfere because she is jealous and she's using money and all these other things to mess with this person. Child support, what have you. You know, we could keep going down the line. Now, this could be like an earth sign female who is problematic. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. The challenge position, again, this could be the mother of somebody's child. She could even have emotional problems. She could be very manipulative. She could have addiction issues that are causing her to not be able to accept the divorce, not be able to accept the breakup. And so she is allowing her emotional problems to affect you, because maybe, especially if you're with somebody who's kind of a pushover, who doesn't really put their foot down, that is kind of what is happening. Also, with the Queen of Cups in reverse, if this is something to do with you, watch out for any tendencies to kind of allow your emotions to get the best of you, Cancer. Because, again, with that Nine of Pentacles, there could be like something within yourself that is causing you to be imbalanced emotionally. It could be that you have the drinking problem, or you have the, you know, some kind of like taking too many pills, or whatever the case may be, and it's affecting your judgment, it's affecting your moods. We know that Cancer is ruled by the moon and can be moody, crabby. Your symbol, the crab. And when a Cancer person is balanced, they're able to nurture other people very effectively. They're able to be compassionate beings. Every sign has negative attributes. So it's not picking on Cancer whatsoever. This is something that all signs have to be careful of in their own way for their own reasons. But you want to make sure that you are staying balanced, staying focused. If you're in a relationship with someone, and by the way, you could be dealing with a breakup yourself, because there have been these full moons, lunar eclipses, solar eclipse in your sign, July 12th, and actually at the end of June there was a lunar, a full moon, and this was in your opposite sign of Capricorn. So that could have been a time of some kind of an ending of a long-term relationship, and maybe you're still kind of reeling from it, and it's making you, yeah, so even like in a divorce situation, you may be the one who's trying to exact revenge on your partner by taking them to the cleaners. So that's because your emotions are out of control. This was the card I picked from the Wild Unknown Tarot deck. This is a card, Ten of Cups is a card of marriage, but we're looking at it turned upside down. So a marital situation that has turned into a train wreck. And if a person is not emotionally mature, when they feel they've been slighted or, humiliated, slighted, whatever you want to call it, it's not uncommon for them to lash out. And that is emotional immaturity. A lot of people will disagree with me, and feel free to, tell me off below if you disagree with me. But I think it's emotional immaturity, and I'll tell you why. Just because they did something terrible doesn't mean that you have to sink to anybody's level. If you're capable of sinking to that level, it means there's something within you that is vindictive, that is childish, or just vengeful. Well, I guess that's what vindictiveness is, isn't it? And you have to look at yourself, Cancer. You have to look at your own attitudes. If you kind of have a tendency to act in ways that create unfavorable circumstances in your life. If you were in a relationship with somebody and maybe you were just too emotionally dependent and it drained the energy of the other person, own it. But you would have to see it as a problem, and that is something that is hard for all of us to do when we live in our own consciousness. It's hard for us to see that we might have been doing some things that we shouldn't have done, made some mistakes in the relationships. That's okay, Now, if you look at this is a great card. This is at the foundation of the reading. The Magician card is a card of self-empowerment. So my feeling is that you are starting to awaken to your own personal power. Maybe there's some kind of, and now if this is you dealing with some other woman who is creating problems, then that's one thing. One scenario I didn't give you is that if you're getting ready to marry someone and their ex is trying to, destroy everything because they're trying to gain revenge, that could put a marriage in jeopardy. So or wedding, I should say, in jeopardy. So in that case, just understand that those challenge cards don't mean that it can't happen. It's just that right now there may be timing issues related to this other person, if there's another person involved, or some other factor that is contributing to this particular situation. And you will be able to get it together eventually. If that is true for you. For other people, it may simply be that you are angry at what has happened and you're, using any means necessary. But interesting that I got that Magician card, because that is more of the kind of power that I'm talking about. That is power generated from within yourself. It's not dependent on outer forces. So maybe you're in another world where you're starting to awaken to your own personal power, but you still have these residual effects. Or maybe those things are kind of in the past. The traits that I'm talking about, the negative traits. And if this is somebody else who's doing this to your partner, just understand that you just taking care of yourself, tending to your own garden, is probably the best course of action. Don't get involved in the fray of their battles. That's what the other party wants you to do. She wants you, I said she because the card depicts a feminine energy, but the other person wants you to be engaged, to lower yourself. Don't give them the satisfaction. So this is the higher message, the Knight of Pentacles. Now it's kind of like what I was just saying, because I'm not looking at this as as practical advice. It's more symbolic, and the spiritual message. You're better served if you're looking for a a positive outcome in your situation, you're better served by just putting one foot in front of the other and focusing on productive activities. So if you have a career, a job, tending to that. If you have other obligations that you do, or if you're looking for a job, or if you're trying to start a business, focus on positive things that you can do. Some of these cards indicate like the feminine principle gone awry, and that meaning there's feminine and masculine energy. The Queen of Cups is a double feminine energy, and in the reversed position can indicate the worst manifestation of emotions and the like. The type of people who have a tendency to use their, use any, like I said before, any means necessary to manipulate others into doing what they want them to do. And that kind of thing is not fair, and it's destructive to the self, really. The advice, what is coming in? Oh, I didn't know, I'm sorry. Let me back up here. This is the practical advice. The practical advice is the Death card, and this is simply to understand what is over and what can be salvageable. Some relationships can be salvageable, but some can't. The Cancer, the crab clings to its, I was going to say its prey, but it just has those claws that it clings into whatever it wants to have in its clutches. And that can be unfortunate when you're trying to cling to the wrong thing. So the best, I always say, like especially with these eclipses, the whole idea is to let go. Not to try, if you notice that things are happening that seem like a lot of change, and with you there's a lot of these major arcana cards. We have at least three in this reading that I can see. So you might be going through a lot of transition, and of course you just had your solar return, and there's a, and the solar eclipse in your sign is very much a change agent. And the temptation can be like, whoa, this is too much. I want to, stop the world. I want to get off or something. It's just too fast. But you have to be willing to allow change to occur. What is coming in is represented by the Strength card, and this is connected to Leo, hence the lion. This could be another timing situation. Leo is the first few weeks of the month, and you are going to have a solar eclipse in the second house of earned income, which that should make some of you that are interested in the money situation happy. New beginnings in that. But in general, it's possible that you are growing and you're feeling a sense of more self-esteem. Like the Strength card is right next to the Magician. And you're feeling it specifically in the area of autonomy, because that's what the Magician would be about. Not in relationship to someone else. I think this is one of the biggest mistakes that a Cancer person can make, is being too dependent on others, especially their family, for their sense of self, for their self-esteem. We can have a family or a group of friends, people that we consider our family, but we are, at the end of the day, an individual that has to make decisions that are best for us. And sometimes that will be in conflict to what the collective or the group wants. And that has to be okay within the individual. The outcome is the Four of Cups. This is a card of emotional dissatisfaction. That's why I did pick an additional card. My feeling is that many people may try to stay in a situation where you have not been happy in a relationship, and you will be met with dissatisfaction. You will realize the emptiness of it. And that's good. You know, I would never tell anybody what to do. If somebody chooses to stay in a relationship, even when I get the death card, they will find out soon enough whether or not the relationship has the ability to last. But the Four of Cups is kind of an internalized thing, I think. It's more of like seeing how incompatible you are, just like how unsatisfied emotionally you are with the relationship. I picked an additional card. I got the Five of Wands, which is a card of, you know, actual outward disagreements, you know, drama and conflict. So again, that is another signal to maybe change. So I didn't want to end on that note because it's not something that seems to resolve the situation. So I picked a third card, and what did I get? The King of Swords. This could be a judge, somebody who's making a decision and has to be totally without partiality. Somebody who has to be, you know, put their mind over their intellect over their heart. So it seems to me that this is like a marital situation, especially since I got the Ten of Cups in that challenge position. Of course, marriage can also be a live-in partnership, and the King of Swords can also be a facet of you where you really have to take everything that you can within yourself and make sure that you do not allow yourself to be swayed by your emotions so that you can make the best decision for yourself. So, very interesting. It seems like a reading about a situation that is, you know, reaching its resolution, but not necessarily a new romance. In this particular reading, at least, for those people that it resonates with. If it doesn't resonate, I hear you. You don't even have to tell me because I know. Now I'm going to pick a card from the Sandra Ann Taylor deck, and maybe this will give us further understanding. I actually did pick a card from this deck in another reading, and it really did enhance the reading. I got Man Holding a Heart, 45. I call that one the Fabio card because of his hair. Okay. I'm sure some people don't even know who Fabio is. Male dealing with family, love, or emotions. This tender man sits with flowers all around, holding... let me put this here so you can see this better. Holding a heart in his hand. For a man, this signals a greater clarity about emotions and their purpose in your life. There could be a more balanced approach to family and love at this time, even if these have been confusing experiences for you in the past. For some, this card upright could signal the presence of a new man in your life, one who tends to be more thoughtful and aware. Whether or not this man is a love interest or a friend, he brings a high intention to help where personal projects, family, or home issues are concerned. The affirmation is, I am comfortable with all of my emotions. I honor and express them in appropriate ways. I feel peace. Well, I think it's somewhat apropos, don't you? Okay, Cancer, I hope that you enjoyed this. If you'd like a private reading, my love readings combine astrology with the tarot. Please click on the link below. Otherwise, have a wonderful August. Take care. Bye.